All right, so we have another series in which we only own the first two because we can buy the third one, but we want.
I ain't doing that. I'm waiting till the reprint.
Yeah, we want the reprint one.
Match.
We want it.
Bonus chapter.
Yeah, we want it to match. We want the bonus chapter.
Gotta have it.
So we have Her Soul to Take and Her Soul for Revenge by Harley Laroux, and
these are my babies.
You read Her Soul to Take and then took a break and then came back to Her Soul for Revenge. And it took you a long time for Her Soul for Revenge because I think you and I had a very long period in between books. We got stuck on a book and we kind of just... We didn't reach a reading slump. We just got busy. Yeah. I think our lives kind of just...
Kind of took a hard left turn to the busy area.
Yeah, this past month has been insane. Which is crazy to say because, school ended for our our fourth grader.
I wish she was still four.
No, she's in fourth grade now. She just graduated third grade. Our school ended there, and we've had a house full of kids, all pretty much since the beginning of summer started, and we've had a couple of household things that we've had to take care of. And of course, some work-related stuff that we had to do, with all the husbands. Between you, Justin, and James, y'all have some pretty crazy schedules. You stay pretty busy. And, you've been working...
Out of everybody's busy work schedule, me and James have the craziest work schedule.
Oh, yeah. But,
James is more crazy, doubles-wise, but mine's more crazy because of all the areas that I have to go.
He hasn't had a day off since, month. At least a month.
At least.
So, Her Soul for Revenge took him a long time to read, but it was not because of the book itself. The book itself, from what he said, was amazing. But it was just we had a very hectic, crazy schedule.
If I could have sat down and finished that whole book in one day, I would have. I probably would have read it again.
Yeah. So Her Soul to Take. Let's start with that one, obviously, because it's book one. We have who?
We've got good old Demon Leon.
And
we got what's her name again? It's Raelynn.
Raelynn.
Yeah, Raelynn.
Her Soul to Take is Raelynn and Leon?
Yeah.
And Leon's the demon?
Yep. Yeah. Definitely.
So, this is your first dark romance smut book involving a demon.
Yes.
That was your first one. You haven't ever read anything involving any sort of
so far
shifting.
This is the first two that involved anything shifter, supernatural related,
ever,
anything like that.
So for this to be your first dip into it, because there's a whole world of it out there.
I got some on my Amazon list. I promise you, they're there.
For your first dip into it, was Harley good? Did Harley do a good job?
Oh yes,
she did a fantastic job.
Absolutely, loved it.
Did you like Leon?
Not gonna lie, for the most part, Leon was a little bit of a bitch. Just being honest. Especially when it came to Raelynn, because he was really a bitch when it came to her. He did what needed to be done to make sure that she was safe, but god dang was he whipped as a motherfucker.
For a demon, he was pretty soft on her? For a demon,
he was pretty soft, big
pretty
time.
Soft. Okay, so what would you rate it? Would you...
When I rate it, I gave it a 9.
Give it a 9?
Yeah.
Okay, now what about Her Soul for Revenge?
Well, Zane and Juniper are perfect.
Zane and Juniper.
Love them both. Oh, so much. Out of the two women, Juniper for sure, because she is she's up there with Roxy in badass bitch territory for me. Mm-hmm. And then Zane is just the better demon out of him and Leon. Well,
obviously, because didn't you say that there are two different types of demons?
Pretty much.
So what type of demon is Leon?
Well, Leon's more of a... It's hard to describe, really.
He's just a normal demon?
Probably a normal demon.
And what type of demon is Zane?
If it wasn't for the fact that he's not an archdemon, he probably could have been an archdemon.
So it's kind of like a hierarchy. So the first book kind of has grade 1, and then we have a grade 2, and then obviously we know book 3 has the archdemon. It has Emery and
Everly and
Callum. We already know Callum is going to be number 1.
He's
because they get talked about in both books, don't they?
Yeah. there's one interaction in the first book, and then there's another interaction in the second book. Zane has, I think, a harder time with it because Leon just goes there to ask for his grimoire page with his name on it, so he can make sure he's not summoned by anybody else. Because obviously, being trapped as a witch's wizard pet for centuries at a time is not the way he wants to go about his life. It's probably why he's such a little bitch, because he spent 100 years being a bitch. But he eventually got a little bit better. He had to get his ass beat down to almost death by a Reaper to get a little better. But don't even get me started on that fucking Reaper. That Reaper was woo.
Well, I've heard that twice now. So there's a Reaper in both books?
It's the same Reaper.
Same Reaper in both books.
Reaper. It's just in the second book you actually get to witness his summoning using Zane's barely alive body. Zane's blood is the reason for the Reaper being summoned to begin with by Jeremiah and his deep one possessed self. So he summons the Reaper, sends it after Leon. For some reason, I don't know why he doesn't want the Reaper to kill Leon, to get him out of the way. He just wants him broken to be out of the way. And then he offered up Zane to be the one that he could kill in his place instead. I don't understand it. I really don't. Because either way it goes, the Reaper, his description of the way he looks is amazing. Multiple eyes,
kind of like Nightmare Fuel?
Pretty much.
Obviously not for us, but maybe for someone else.
And then the simple fact of after the Reaper leaves, because Zane is left powerless anyway, but Jeremiah just gets that pendant stabbed in his back and it saps away his powers. Somewhat. It doesn't fully sap him away by the time Juniper gets there and cuts it out of his body. And then takes him to collect another soul, and then after he collects the soul of the main villain's wife and mother, because you get the father, and then the son basically takes over after the father's death, which was done by Zane and Juniper, obviously. And so he goes after the wife / mother and gets her soul, for basically as a way of her protection. And then Juniper's nah, fuck that, and then kills her after her soul's been given up. And then once Zane collects that soul, that's when his eyes go pitch black instead of their golden ring like they usually are.
But he has a slight sliver, is what you say, a very thin.
It's very, very thin gold iris. Because Leon's still got the gold eyes. From what I've seen from basic demon description, is archdemons have solid black eyes, and all the rest of them have a gold ring for an iris.
So Zane got there. He's on the precocious of it.
Pretty much there. He's got that little thin gold line for an iris. But out of the two so far, Zane and Juniper are my top two. And then once we get Soul of a Witch, it's probably going to change.
Okay, what was your rating for her Soul for Revenge?
Soul for Revenge got a 10 out of 10.
You haven't really read anything yet that you have a low rating for. Not yet.
We're not going to talk about that book yet. We're going to save
we have come across one.
Yeah, we've got one. We're going to save that one for later. But, yeah. So far, the lowest rating I've given any book that I've read, besides the one that I'm not talking about yet, is an 8, really. I haven't given anything below an 8.
All right. Would you recommend these to your mother? No. these are not for mom.
No. My mom would have a freaking fit. I don't know what her initial reaction would be, but this right here ain't it. Not doing it. But if she comes across this video on TikTok, that's your decision. I'm not recommending it for you, but you can do it if you want.